Hello everyone, this is Legomationist again, and today I'm going to show you how to make the reloading with bullets animation that I used in How to Bring Your Legos to Life number 10. So, to start off in that video, I just made this short shooting scene where you see the soldier basically shoot some criminal. And then this was just the first part, so the audience would kind of see what was going on to add a little bit of interest. It's a bit of a bonus because then I'll also tell you how I do my different shooting and the blood and all that stuff. So this tutorial today, I'll just be showing every single frame and talking about them and what I did. So, the first frame, this is where you show the audience what is going on. You give them a bit of a feeling for the setting, the time, the place. Right now we just see the soldier pointing a gun at a criminal. So, we usually want this to be longer. Right now all of these are 3 seconds long. So, we're going to eventually set these down to around 15 frames per second. Which is what I used in my actual video, How to Bring Your Legos to Life number 10. So, 1 second is good enough for the first frame, and we're going to shorten all these other frames when we get to that. So the next frame, you can see that I have this clay, this yellow clay. It's basically just 1 frame. It goes back. This is a sort of slow gun that he's using, semi-automatic, I'm pretty sure. So there's a bit of a pause, 2 or 3 frames. Then there's another muzzle flash. I reform the clay, usually. Another pause. This is when you actually see that the bullet connects. Since the criminal is kind of farther away, I put in a big a lot of red clay to show the blood. And at 15 frames per second, if you just have 1 frame with blood, no one's going to know what's going on. So I usually have 2 to 3 frames. So the next one, I reshape the red clay. And then here he shoots again. Notice how I reshaped the muzzle flash again. These are just very basic effects. I don't have such amazing programs. I'm showing this on Windows Movie Maker because everyone has that, but I usually use Stopmotion Pro. We see the gun, recoil. Now we see that the guy is falling over. These frames, I'm just basically pushing his body down. The gun goes down, etc., etc. It's slow right now, but at 15 frames per second, this looks pretty good. So then there's a pause with a bunch of frames, so now he basically killed the guy, and his gun is empty, so he needs to reload. So I'm gonna import the other pictures where he reloads a gun. And you can do this easily by just going over to the import pictures. You click it, you find the you find the folder. Yes, it was this one. You select the frames, and there you go. So we're going to bring these frames into the timeline. And so they're also 3 seconds long at the moment, but we'll change that when we get to it. So, because there's a change in perspective, we want there to be a little pause here, which we'll leave for now, so we'll come back to that later. So, we go back here. I used pretty slow movements. These frames I used in Stopmotion Pro to be like time setters, basically, because the problem with Stopmotion Pro is you cannot set you cannot set a frame to be 1 second long. To do that, you would have to copy 15 frames. So these are just placeholders, basically. But now you can see the gun is moving pretty slowly, small movements every frame. It's starting to turn a little bit, rotate, because eventually it's going to be parallel to his body, so it'll be facing this way. So this just continues, small movements, you know, it's starting to turn, and here he's reaching back for a magazine or bullets or whatever. He takes it out, they're in his hand now, and you can see that he's taking the clip out, and right now it's in the right place so that when we take these bullets out of his hand, it'll look like they went into the gun. So we do this, and then the gun has to straighten out again. This is basically the exact same thing that we did before. You know, the hand has to come back in. This isn't noticeable at 15 frames per second, so don't worry about it. On the other hand, what I don't like about this is that you can see that, you know, his footing kind of changes every frame. So that can happen sometimes when you're trying to move the arm. Basically, the minifigure shifts slightly. And now this is the last frame. So we're gonna have to make every frame, you know, to make it more realistic, we want it 15 frames per second. That's what I originally shot it at. So the problem with Windows Movie Maker is, to make it 15 frames per second, we have to zoom in on the timeline the maximum, and then we have to manually change every single frame. And I'm really happy that I got Stopmotion Pro, because I don't have to do this anymore. Before I would have to do this for every single frame, and I started to get longer movies from 600 to 700 frames. So you may want to consider getting some sort of other, you know, stop motion thing. Try out Stopmotion Pro. I use it. I'll leave a link in the description. So I'm just gonna come back to you again when I've done all of this. Wait, there's one thing you can do to speed it up slightly. So I'm going to go back, select all of these frames, go to Tools, Options here, and I'm going to set it down to 0.125 seconds. This is the lowest it will go. We still have to set the frames back, because this will only be 2 frames per second. And basically you have to re-import the frames into the timeline. So that means I have to import frame 17 through 31. But anyway, you can do that. I'm just gonna keep working on this. Alright, so I've done this. So now let's take a look at it. So a few things. The first frame, it's a bit too long. I usually have it at 1 second if I have a title screen before it, so I can fit in a transition. So I'm just gonna put this down to half a second and see how it looks. And now a few more things. So I'm just gonna look through the frames now, make sure everything's right. And this looks pretty good. But one thing. So these 2 frames, you can see that the perspective changes. So we have to put a little pause there. So we're going to open this up, make this about 1/3 of a second. So that's equal to 5 frames at 15 frames per second. And also the last frame, we have to kind of show that the action has ended. So let's set that to about 1 second. Now, let's play through it again. And so it looks pretty good, but we still want to add some sound to make it even better. So I usually have to go on the web and I usually go to royalty-free sounds. You know, you can get a bunch of sounds for free. They don't have any copyright, so in case you want to monetize your videos or whatever, you don't have to deal with the copyright. So I'm just going to import audio, music, whatever, and select the sounds I want. So you can select any sounds you want, basically just select them and import them. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I've imported the sounds I want. I actually edited these. I changed this to 3 shots, so it sounds like this, and I added in some other stuff to it. So these are the 2 sounds I want, one for the shooting and one for the reload. So let's look for where the shooting starts. Now it starts the 2nd frame, so we're going to basically drag this here. Now let's play it back. And that just worked perfectly. I don't know. I'm pretty lucky with this. So now we have to look for where the reload goes. Did I miss it? Yeah. Okay, so you just have to basically scan through. So we're looking at it, and here's where the magazine disappears, meaning we want to put in the, the reload sound. Now I think that's it. There's a slight delay of the actual sound, so let's just try putting it a bit earlier. See if this works. Yeah, it's a lot of trial by error. So it looks like we're pretty much done. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment with a request for something you want to see a tutorial about, something I should do in my how to bring my Legos to life, your Legos to life, sorry. I don't have so many great ideas, I could use some more. And then give me some suggestions, what should I do better next time, or you can post a video response for, say you did this animation, show me, post a video response of it. And if you like this, please check out my other videos, my other tutorials. And so, thanks, and I'll see you guys soon.